a lot of what's going to come up, you know, with these next coming weeks, especially for my Americans here, it's going to be testy times. So we need to hone in and get into our own energy. If you haven't yet, in the chat box, please share your intention and where you're coming from so we can create a container. And then we're going to dive in. So please have your notes ready as well, because I'm going to be talking about some more of the new paradigm astrology that I was taught by my teacher, Stephanie Azaria of the Cosmic Path. She was one of my teachers in the Kundalini teacher training I did. And so I'm pumped about this because I want you to feel empowered and not so defeated by what's going on. I've got a Thrive Babe here. Hey, Jess. Share from Temecula, here for the lessons and wisdoms. Nina, her intentions to balance action and reflection, not buying into the fear and scarcity. Boom. Welcome to Equinox. Welcome to a new season. All right, we got another few that are kind of silent, but I'm gonna dive in since it's been about 5 minutes. And then we'll get going. So, hey everyone, Sabrina here, and I'm really excited to be on this journey with you and to really help you understand that you are in power. You are in power. Do not allow the world outside of you to steer you away from your sovereign truth. And like I said, it's going to get testy. But we're going into Libra season, right? We see justice. And I mean, it's been quite a test. I mean, I've been really connecting to Ruth Bader Ginsburg and her energy. And I feel like she's on the other side to help instill justice. Because her body was so weak and her spirit was ready to, you know, do the bigger work without having the density of her body. And so with this equinox, we are really diving into a time of balance, and especially with the great change and the shifts that are unfolding, okay? And when we think about it, we're going into Libra season. This is an air sign, okay? So we need to make sure that our mental state is on its A game. Plain and simple. Because this is the time for you to become the eye of the storm. Without a doubt. There's a lot of noise happening like all around us, right? And as we're here in the equinox, we're finding this equal balance of day and night as the sun is moving into Libra. And so while there's all this commotion and chaos that's going on around us, we have to understand that we are in a timeline war. Meaning that timelines of like outdated beliefs, scarcity, fears, things that are holding us back, they're all collapsing. That's why I know I got in this freaking car accident on Tuesday, because it was like, boom, a collapse of a timeline. And I feel like that was part of my initiation to help guide you all to understand that we are collapsing timelines right now. These outdated systems, they're not serving us, because think about it. This is the last full season we have of 2020. Right? We'll have the winter season or the summer season starting on the 21st of December. This is the last, guys, we're setting precedent for how we're going to really dive into 2021, where there will be more truth being exposed, where there will be more disclosure being exposed, because there's an awakening happening. Whether you've been on your awakening journey for quite some time, or you're just starting on your initiation of your awakening journey, it's happening. So again, you need to be the eye of the storm. You need to find that stillness with all the chaos that's going around us, because it's only going to get louder, and it's getting louder to see whether or not you can stand in your integrity. It's getting louder to see whether or not you believe in yourself. It's getting louder to see how you are going to handle the situation. This is going to be a test for you. That's why I keep on saying, buckle up, right? You've been doing work. You have support. I'm here for you. There's plenty of other people out there, your soul squad, people you follow that you trust, not the people that you follow because you're doubting yourself or seeing them as like on a pedestal. These are people you trust, and these are the energies you need to surround yourself with this upcoming season. Because think about it. We're here on the equinox. 6 weeks from now or so is the election. It takes 40 days to start to shift the subconscious pattern. And this is where we need to focus our energy on our subconscious mind. As I teach and thrive, the subconscious is formed by the ages of 0 and 7, the root chakra. This is the space of safety. If you're not feeling safe, you're not going to be able to ascend and to live out your soul's mission. So what's happening right now in this storm? I have a hair on me, and hair is my biggest fear. Sorry, like my ADHD. What's happening right now is, with this eye of the storm of all this noise and nonsense that's going on, you need to ask yourself if you're feeding into it. Like I shared on my Instagram, yes, it's very testy. There's such a huge divide and polarity, especially in America right now. And we need to make sure that the pendulum isn't swinging like this, right? Back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Find that stillness, find that neutrality by focusing on the solutions, okay? We are closing out a 4-year. In Tantric numerology, which I also teach and thrive, 4 is the neutral mind, okay? It takes us 11 seconds to get from the negative mind to the positive mind to the neutral mind. The neutral mind, like Libra season, balance, right, is where we can start to see both sides of the coin and recognize it's a coin. And with that recognition, how are we focusing on the solution? So this is a time for you to start focusing on the solution, okay? What is it that you actually want? Rather than what mainstream media, what Instagram, what these influencers, whatever, your close friends, whoever, what are they telling you is your truth versus what you intuitively know? And I invite you all to also add comments and let me know that you're with me. Projector, I need to know this, like you're here with me as you're going through this. So we have to understand, as we find this balance, recognizing 2 sides of the coin, going into the space of neutrality, where we're not feeding the fears, we're not feeding the polarity, we're not feeling victimized of what's happening, but we're choosing to be victorious. This is what this equinox is inviting us to pave ahead. So as we go into Libra season, okay, that's what we're initiating into. We're in the last days of Virgo. So we're just focusing on the organization, right? What we will and what we do and do not want, with that self-reliance, right? Libra is here to, again, help us understand that there isn't separation, and that the inner is cultivating the outer, as above, so below kind of thing. So if we're seeing a lot of mess outside, there's two things we need to look at. One, what is a reflection back to us on where we can fine tune ourselves and our beliefs? And two, what's a projection or an infiltration that's trying to steer us off course, either through gaslighting, through self-doubt? There has to be a fine line, so we have to use the difference between judgment and discernment. And this is what we need to really look at right now. Where can we see what's going on and being like, I don't consent to that. That is not my truth, nor is that the reality I'm choosing to call in. You are free to go. I do not consent. Stand into that power, right? Again, Libra, air sign, can be very mental. And when you know yourself, when you can stand in that space of neutrality, when you can be in this wholeness of who you are, again, what's coming at you? Is it a projection of something outside of you? Someone else's pain and trauma that's trying to attack you? Is it an interference? Is it an opportunity of energy trying to deceive you? Or is it someone reflecting back to you areas in your life that you've been ignoring or bypassing? So again, know when someone is inviting you to look at yourself, and know when they're trying to project what isn't yours, okay? This is especially what's going to be happening during Libra season as we approach the election closer, and it gets noisier and noisier and noisier, because it's not just like what the agenda is, but it's also the collective of how they're feeling on what's being triggered within them. So I'm going to be releasing a podcast YouTube video in next week, next Sunday, talking about how to keep sane during election season. Because even if you're international, this is a huge impact that's happening in America, and I know you're all feeling it too. So as an American, I'm going to share that responsibility. It's not all me, but I'm going to say that these are something that we need to address and talk about, because this is a non-negotiable. So I just want to share with you the card that I got for Libra season. I forgot to share with you the one on the Equinox, but I'll share that too. But what I pulled was this 5 of Wands reversed. And so obstacles may arise, and it's evident that as the upcoming election rolls through, because a lot is coming up to the surface right now. So really remember to stay the course and honor what arises, and remember to ask for help, because this is the 11th hour that's unfolding. So use this Mars retrograde to really take initiative. This Wands is a fire, okay? So what I'm seeing from all of this Libra season, it's going to be a lot of the rise of the Phoenix energy. Okay, so more layers are going to be showing up. Be patient, okay? Again, with this 5 of Wands reverse and this fire coming up, know how to cool down. Know how to honor yourself. Know how to take breaks. You're good, babe. So I just invite you with this Wands reversed that a lot can be coming up. Again, remember this, a lot can be coming up. And with that, how are you going to see and recognize what's yours and what isn't? So let me just also talk about the cards, since I have the cards here, of what's going to like the card I pulled for the equinox. So what I have here is the Ace of Swords. Okay, so what we're seeing right now is that it says here breakthrough and mental focus. And again, we're going into Libra season, mental, right? Air sign. So what we have to do is that understand that aces are very positive and they offer really powerful new solutions are coming through, and there are new beginnings that are happening. So while there can be a lot that looks like shit's going haywire right now, what's actually happening is that this is the answer to our prayers. And it may take some time for the 3D to catch up to it. So I do want to make that clear. Because again, this is part of the test. Where is your faith? And it's always it's gonna look different than what we thought it. It's gonna be actually better. And a lot of people are getting really triggered and really tested right now. We have to keep our faith. Think of this sword as like cutting through the bullshit, and you have to know how to protect yourself. A lot of the bullshit in the new age spiritual community likes to say that like evil doesn't exist and good vibes only. Bitch, evil exists. It's out there. So you have to understand that change is coming. You have to understand that success and victory, they are yours. So you need to stay focused in your willpower and connect to that inner strength, because you are in this time to really balance your emotions, balance where your head is going, your mindset, cut through the bullshit. You're piercing through the veil right now. That's what this equinox is about. We are piercing through the veil. 2020 crystal vision, it's been so intense. But the people who've been active in their purpose, the people that have been diligently working and staying in their own lane and going to those spaces that aren't often visited, the road less traveled, they've got this. Is that you? I want to hear if that's you. I want you to proclaim it right now that you got this. That you are cutting through the bullshit in your life. You refuse to allow what's happening outside of you to have power over you anymore. Enough. 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 Boom. So as we go through Libra season, we're still in this Mars retrograde. If you haven't checked out my podcast episode, please do, where I'm talking about how to slay your business during Mars retrograde. It's a lot of information there. We are getting all of our ducks in a row right now to live out and to be successful in our mission, because this is a spiritual war happening right now. We are still navigating through this fourth dimension, fourth density of time and space, right? 4D is time, where there's good versus evil, where you can get sucked in. Hell yeah, 333. Thanks for sharing that. Or you can get sucked in. This is where you have the opportunity to show up. This is your time to hone in, come up with that soulful strategy of yours of how you're going to slay and execute this. That's what this season is offering. To set precedent for the rest of the decade. I remember I saw this meme that was like, oh my gosh, 2020 is like an ayahuasca ceremony with no shaman that's been going on for like 10 years. This is like 10 years worth of shit that we're navigating through, but we're cleaning up, we're alchemizing. That's like what's happening. We are alchemizing so much of this energy going into Scorpio season, when the election will be, okay? And the full moon during Scorpio season is on Halloween. So the ancestors have our back. as we're going into this election, as we're going into the last of 2020. Yes, and it's a blue moon. It's the second full moon of the month. Blue moons are the second when there's 2 full moons in 1 month. So we have to understand that we are co-creating this reality with source, with God, with spirit. Our ancestors have our back. And this is the time for you to alchemize those desires. Those manifestations from your higher self, this is the time. Scorpio rules our sexual organs. So this is the time to really create and activate your dreams and desires. This may also be a great time for you to start working on that sacral chakra, 8 to 16. Again, this is part of the lower triangle. 8 to 16 is when that sacral chakra is being formed. So start going back to middle school and high school you and see which traumas and stories are still running the show that have told you that you like, that have put you in a box of trying to fit in, right? Like, where are you trying to fit in? Like, what's your relationship with your sexuality? How are you being central with yourself, nourishing yourself, self-pleasure, taking yourself on dates, filling up your cup? This is the invitation that's going to be happening in Scorpio season so that we can share from this space of overflow so that we feel good to alchemize and to create what it is we desire. Because if you're feeling like shit, it's going to be a lot harder to manifest what it is you really want. And more than what you really want, what's the bigger purpose behind that? So more than just thinking of that material things, focus on the bigger purpose and the bigger intention. The sacred why behind why you're doing this work. This is the time for you to surrender to your higher self and your highest self at that. And to, again, stay in your own lane because it's going to get noisier and noisier and noisier. Lots is going to continue to shed. So with Scorpio season, 2 cups fell out. And it's hilarious because they're both water signs. They're both cups, right? And Scorpio is a water sign. Cups is a water sign. So the first thing that came up was the Spirit of Cups. I know it's kind of reversed, but you get it. Spirit of Cups are the Knight. And this is about the time for you to honor your emotions and really take action. So you need to focus on your vision and what's inspiring you because you are transcending the distorted masculine by getting honest with yourself. And to those of you who've been single and you're feeling like your person is coming, partnership is fucking coming. It's happening. But first, you have to find that balance within. So where are you in your distorted masculine? Where are you like overworking? Where are you not knowing how to take care of yourself? Where are you being really hard on yourself and not allowing yourself to receive, to nourish yourself? Clearly, that's what's being reflected back to us as a collective with the world outside. We have so much of this distorted masculine energy that's happening. Nick asked, what if you're in a relationship with someone who's stuck in 3D? You gotta keep staying in your own fucking lane and asking for that support. Asking if they need help, letting them know they're there, but everyone has free will. And you have to understand that free will. And to the ladies out there, we've been waking up a lot faster than the men. Plain and simple. There's so much distortion in the masculine men's man up, big boys don't cry, and this is where they're all having to look right now. Trust me when I say my passion is conscious partnership work and like helping men. I was always one of the boys growing up, and to be able to help them understand that they're supported, we got to continue to stay in our power, ladies, and to not stay on course, and to not belittle ourselves or lower what we deserve, how we deserve to be treated. So that's where a lot of the test is going on collectively, as well as the patriarchal system continues to fall, because more women are rising up. Again, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, she's on the other side to really like keep empowering women is what I'm really feeling. That's what I'm feeling. So trust that these opportunities and creative endeavors are coming. Stay in your own lane. And again, be the eye of the storm. Okay. The other card that came up was the Dawn of Cups reverse. So deception can arise, and it's coming through to attack you on the areas of your life where you carry the most insecurity. Okay. So maybe if you have that partnership where they're still attacking, check yourself. Maybe there's things outside, and based off of what's happening as we prepare, going into the last of the year, check yourself. What's the overall theme, agenda going on? Check yourself. So this is the time for you to focus on your gifts, to take care of yourself, and know that there's no more room for you playing small during this time. So give yourself permission to get honest about your creative blocks and really be courageous, because doubt may creep up. Stay open and listen to your intuition. Meaning, if things start to get really intense on social media, or you're seeing like more and more of the intensity as we get closer and closer and closer to the election, closer and closer to the end of the year, know when to take a fucking break. Go in nature. Go by water. I'm feeling Scorpio season. Salt baths will be a non-negotiable. And I really encourage you all to make sure you have like a really beautiful like self-care practice, a self-nourishment practice before you go out there. Like really check yourself if the first thing you wake up is you scroll on Instagram. Yikes, I said it. Really ask yourself, how can I do better? Really ask yourself, am I taking care of myself before I'm of service to others? When do I need a timeout? Last night, I was having a really shitty day. I was just like over it. And so my best friend, Krista, called me out and she's like, you need to walk away from your computer and stop working. So Bud and I, we went to Joshua Tree National Park and like watched shooting stars. Like I had like my twinkle lights and my cards and my journal, and I just started writing, and that's what I needed to do to fill up my cup. So during this time, how are you filling up your cup and honoring your emotions and asking for help? Because I think a lot of what you're going to be doing right now too is reevaluating a lot of your relationships. And that was actually a lot of the energy of Sagittarius. So since we're on it, I'll share with you Sagittarius's card, and then we'll dive in more to Sagittarius's energy. But I pulled the 7 of Rings, or the 7 of Pentacles reversed. So this is about patience pays, right? This is a time to really reevaluate and honor your worth because you're going into a new year. So consider all the options and really check in with yourself and how you're investing your time, your money, and your energy, and your relationships. Okay? We're setting precedent into a new decade. A lot of energy is going to shift. Things are going to get testy, and there's going to be a lot of uncharted territory that you're diving into. You need to really reevaluate a lot of what's going on, the people you have with you, and asking yourself if you're still really aligned to the areas in your life, maybe of what your business, maybe your relationships, how you're taking care of yourself, your non-negotiables, how you're being of service. Is it still feel in alignment? Does it feel supportive? And if not, do something about it. So when we see this card, this is an opportunity for you to really hone in on your vision and really renew your vision and devote your time, your money, and your energy to the solutions going into a new year. The Sagittarius is the end of November going into December, right? So on not very many days after, like 10 days after the end of Sagittarius season or so will be when we go into winter or Capricorn season, right? So this is just the time for you to really give yourself that permission to honor yourself and to really stand in your truth with integrity. Because that's what Sagittarius season is all about. It's time for you to be victorious, right? It's interesting because a lot of in the way that my teacher taught me and how astrology has evolved, she taught how in this like new paradigm astrology that Sagittarius season is actually the end of the astrological cycle more so than Pisces, because it's the end of the year. And we think about it like, this is you finding that victory. This is you really being in your highest self. This is you going forth on your adventure, right? Where you can really look back at your past and really see how far you've come and really recognize like what is going to help you as you navigate through the 11th hour in this state of surrender. Because not only are you a truth seeker, but because you're more embodied in your truth after all the lessons you've learned from the year, you're going into a new year feeling more empowered. And that's my invitation for you, because 2020 has been super challenging, super testy. And think back to where you were 6 months ago when COVID first hit to where you are now. Can you see the shifts? Right? So you need to give yourself some freaking credit. You need to give yourself some credit. Give yourself credit where credit's due. And so we're going through, again, these timeline wars. We're going through these distortions for us to go into 5D unity consciousness as the baseline. It's not a place, it's a frequency. Finding that Hieros Gamos balance of your divine masculine and your divine feminine within. You'll find that wholeness. And you'll be able, from that space, to serve unapologetically as you. Ina said, I love that. Always feels like Capricorn's the start of the calendar with all the hard work, 3D focuses. Makes a lot of sense about Sag, right? We're shifting things. So this is what we have to understand, is that the chaos is going to look messy. What a beautiful invitation for you to start putting in the work and to walk the talk. Really implement and practice what you've been putting in. So what I want to do now, if there are any questions, please put them in the comments here. Since you are here, the live, I'm answering these questions. Put it in the comments, and then I'll answer some questions. And then from there, we're going to do a Kundalini meditation, talking about removing the fear of the future, because I don't want you to be feeding the fear of what's going on. That fear is stored in the subconscious mind. Again, root chakra, inner child, what's going on. So with that fear that's running the show, the reptilian brain is where a lot of that parasympathetic and the fear resides. This is the time for you to harness, again, going into Libra season, air sign, the mind, harness and focus. Are there any questions? Because if not, we'll go in. I'm also going to put in the chat box, or if you're watching the replay, it's going to be in the notes below. Amanda said, apparently Jupiter and Saturn are conjunct sometime in December, and it signifies the official beginning of the age of Aquarius. Can you elaborate on this? Even if it's later on, thank you. Yeah, definitely. So A lot of astrologers say that 2012 was actually miscalculated because a lot of what the older ages did, they didn't have the Gregorian calendar of January, February, March. They would go by the moon phases and the moon energy. There's 13 moons in a year. So a lot of the shift of calculations actually showed that 2020 was that shift. 2020 was the energy of 2012, the apocalypse, which means the unveiling. We need to get out of the fear about apocalypse because it's an agenda, it's a conditioning, because you're stepping into your power. Come on. The unveiling. This is what's happening. We are seeing the truth. And that's why this year has been so wild. But the people who've been actively embodying their truth, they've been able to navigate this with a lot more ease and grace. And I fully believe that those of us who had our awakening in 2012, it's because we're setting precedent and we're leading the masses into this age of Aquarius. And that's the other thing that's been going on. This chaos, right? It's the fall of the Piscean age. We're clearing out the last of the debris of the Piscean age, where there was competition and the patriarchal systems and the work. The very distorted masculine. Like I said, Scorpio season, that distorted masculine is going to continue to fall. Anna said the 3D, 5D split is insane nowadays. And it's a very intense split because it's literally happening in the physical now. Bingo. It takes more time for the 3D reality to catch up in this multiverse. It takes time for this 3D reality to catch up in the multiverse. So we need to make sure we have that discernment. We need to make sure when to take a break. We need to make sure when to honor, how to honor our emotions and to ask for help. When to disconnect from this thing, right? And to connect with nature, Trying to pet my plant. But we need to understand what's important, because the other thing that we have to really navigate through is all of this. This is still new compared to how long humanity's been going. So we're still adjusting as to how to navigate through this life with this. Isn't it crazy? Like when it's off, it's just like a black hole. You know, it's just like sucking you in. That just came to me. But this is what we need to start thinking about. Lisa said, advice on holding this new frequency when everyone around me in my workplace is getting pulled into conflict and fear. Trying to hold love, but being accused of bypassing. So are you trying to hold love, or are you being accused of being accused of bypassing, or those people? Okay, so advice on holding on to this new frequency when everyone around you is getting pulled into conflict and fear. This is the great thing you can do. You need to visualize like a protective bubble around you. Okay, so this is your test to see what you're giving your power away to outside of you. So something that my teacher Freedom taught me is like, see it as kind of like a nebula with like, I like to think of it as like the colors of like a peacock feather, how it's like the blues, like the iridescence of like the blues and the greens and the purples. See that as like the walls around you in this protective shield, right? And you, before you go into the workspace, for instance, be like, I do not consent to anything that is trying to strip me away from my power. I am sovereign, I am sovereign, I am sovereign. If you go into the workplace already feeling and with intention, it's going to be a lot easier. So I would just really give yourself that permission to, again, there's a difference between that judgment and that discernment. and to continue to stay in your truth. Continue to stay in your power. Is there any other questions? Because then if so, we're going to dive into the meditation. I thank you all for being here. I'm really excited because as I've been sharing on Instagram, like I've been shifting a lot and finishing my book, like sharing with you more of these insights of the things I love about this modern mysticism is really a lot of ancient wisdom, but it's evolving. Sharing more about the tarot and sharing more about astrology and how to implement that into your business. I'm really pumped about this. So thanks for being here. And you guys are seeing more of what I'm promising to deliver you all. Just because I want to see us feel really supported and on the right path, on the true path, right? Because there's a lot of things that can be distorted and steered. And this is like the big test that I really feel like we're going to be mastering this decade, as we're going into and really setting precedent for the Aquarian age, which is another reason why it's really testy. We're literally purging out an old age. Like that's a lot. So if there aren't any other questions, we're going to dive into the meditation. So I'm going to send you all here like this link just so you have it. It's on Spotify. So if you have Spotify, amazing. I'm sure you can still listen to it even if you're not a paid subscriber. So I invite you to click that link and just to have that saved. It's also going to be in the replay. And when you're watching the replay, it's also going to be in the show notes below. But I'm going to cut the audio in the replay for this so that I'm not getting like hit with like copyright craziness, which reminds me back of my old days when I was a music journalist. So learned my lesson. But what we're going to do a meditation. This meditation you do for 11 minutes. It's called Removing the Fear of the Future. And this is, again, time for you to like pierce through the veil of the memories and the traumas and pains of your past and really connect with your heart center. Okay. So we're going to start. I'm going to create the container. If you don't know, if I want to know how many of you have practiced Kundalini yoga before, that will also give me a good test on where we're at. So let me know in the comments if you've done Kundalini yoga before. I'm also going to have in the link below how to tune in, but we're going to tune in together now. And I'm also evolving how I'm tuning in beyond of like what I was taught. There's been a lot coming up about Yogi Bhajan this year and a lot of truth to that, but the practices and the technology has revolutionized my life. And I would not be where I am today if it weren't for this practice. So I'm continuing to evolve and tap into this quantum energy. But okay, so we got some newbies. We got some people that have done it. The song will be playing here in the live. It's just for the replay. That's going to be the link. And again, I'll have that inside the email that has the replay link and your Elevate Your Equinox guide. I promised you all with some questions. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to share first how the posture is of the meditation, and then we'll tune in and dive straight in. So what we're going to do, we're going to get our right hand, okay? And then we're going to place it down. You're going to put your left hand right on top of your heart. And then you're going to put your right thumb into your left palm. And then your left thumb is going to cross over the right. And you're just going to hold your hands like this. And you're going to close your eyes. And I just invite you to focus on the third eye. And we're just going to do slow, deep breaths and we're just going to go into a meditation listening to the music. So this is like, I wanted to do a meditation that feels really supportive, because as also part of that Mars retrograde energy we're in right now, we got to like slow down and just nourish ourselves. Okay. So we're going to listen to this meditation for 11 minutes. To get started though, we're going to chant the mantra 3 times. Om Namo Gurudev Namo 3 times. And then I'm going to type this in. Ad Gure, whoops, damn autocorrect. Ad Gure Name to God. Gure Name. Oh my gosh, every single word is being, every single word is being autocorrected. To God Gure Name Sat Gure. Sat Gure Name Siri Guru Dev Ve Name. Okay, perfect. Sorry, guys. I'm a damn autocorrect. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're chanting this mantra 3 times. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo, guide to the primal wisdom within. Then we're going to have this protection mantra, Ad Gare Name, Jugad Gare Name, Sat Gare Name, Siddhi Guru Dev Ve Name. So we're chanting that 3 times as well. And then we're going to go into this meditation again. We're going to have the right hand, left hand, right thumb, left thumb, boom, right at the heart. Okay, so we're going to do this for 11 minutes. So let's rub our palms together. Bring our hands to our heart. Take a deep inhale and let it go. 2 more times. Take a deep inhale. Hold it and let it go. 1 more time. Take a deep inhale. Hold it and let it go. And on this next inhale, we'll chant. If you're still feeling uncomfortable, just do your best and listen to me chanting. Take a deep inhale. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Ad Gare Name, Jugad Gare Name, Sat Gare Name, Siddhi Gurudev Name. Ad Gare Name, Jugad Gare Name, Sat Gare Name, Siddhi Gurudev Name. Ad Gare Name, Jugad Gare Name, Sat Gare Name, Siddhi Gurudev Name. Take a deep inhale. Hold it, lock Mula Bandha, rectum, sex organs, low belly, pull up, tighten, squeeze. Let it go. Just feel into this real fast. Give yourself this opportunity of spaciousness. As I hear bird snoring. All right, so again, right palm, left palm. And I've been repeating this multiple times so that you guys can keep doing this and you know what to do. You would have the right thumb in the left hand and the left thumb cross over the heart. So we're going to dive in. Lock the bond, rectum, sex organs, low belly, pull up, tighten, squeeze, bring the tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth. And let it go. And just stay in this position. Don't make any sudden moves, just receive. Find stillness. And just this. And when you're ready, open your eyes. How are we feeling? Just peaceful space. This is what I want you. This is a perfect meditation for you to come back to be the eye of the storm. This is you coming home to you. This is about you honoring yourself. Again, getting from that to that space of neutrality. We're not so in our heads. Feeling centered. Amazing. A lot was coming up in my throat chakra. What a beautiful invitation for you to start living your truth. Amazing. Anyone else? All right. So I felt distracted because I'm sitting and my back pain started. I should have been lying down. Sitting's fine, but that back, I'm hearing you. I'm like sitting here spinning post-car accident, but also see that as alchemizing, right? It's like clearing out the stuff of your past. Like a lot of back pain to me symbolizes like past shit. So that can be the removal of the fears of your past as well. Take your power back from that. You broke your back in a car accident in 2016. Feel your support, babe. If you need to do it, like sitting up against a wall, trust yourself. Felt like I'm ready to come back to myself this season. I've been needing in 3D to take care of the shit show. I hear you. Woof. So what I want to offer you all with this season is, especially during Mars Retrograde, I'm offering 20% off of the Mystic Planner. All you have to use is the code Mars Retro, RETRO. So from now till November 13th, I'll be having the Mystic Planner, which is a Kundalini meditation for each day of the week to really help you like slay your day. I'll have the link in that inside with the replay, as well as the whatchamacallit, the video. Here, let me just type it in the chat right now. And so 20% off. You can get these Kundalini meditations. You're also going to be getting this replay with the Elevate Your Equinox guide, which is going to have a card spread and some reflection questions for you to really hone into. Maybe if you want to do that today to close out the, to prepare for this equinox and to close the week and to start on the right foot, please do so. But I'm really excited. A lot of people have had massive breakthroughs with the Mystic Planner, just honing into the planetary energy, because the biggest thing I want you to understand with astrology and everything is that you are still in power and you have the opportunity to work with the planets. The planets don't have power over you. You have an ability to have a relationship with them. So it's a very affordable thing. I think it's like 20%. It's less than $50 for the Mystic Planner. So it's a very affordable thing. You'll have unlimited access to it. And I just want to give you as many tools as I can to help you during this time. I'm so here. Stay tuned for episodes on the Sovereign Society podcast and the YouTube as well. But I just want to close out this container If you have any other questions, feel free to put them in or what you're feeling. And if there aren't any, we'll seal it up and we'll continue to go forth and slay this day. But I thank you all for being here. And just know that with what's going on, you're not alone. Yes, it's going to be testy and challenging, and you've got this, okay? So please don't feel disempowered by what's going on out in the world outside of you, because that's what that energy wants. You've done enough work, enough of that. You've been able to overcome some gnarly shit in your life. You're stronger than you even remember, and this is the time for you to remember that. So if there are any questions, we'll close out the container, because anytime we do these meditations, we want to seal, and I also just want to seal what we've created here today. So if you just want to repeat after me, bring your hands to prayer mudra, to your heart. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. And we'll close out with a long sat and a short nam. Truth is your identity. So take a deep inhale. Sat nam. Sat nam. Thank you all. Appreciate you. Happy equinox. And we're calling in what we desire. This is your time. You've been putting in the work and you're worthy of it. And from this space, you're here to be of service. And again, thank you all for sending and spending your Sovereign Sundays with me. I love these alchemy sessions. They're my favorite. And so thanks for getting a taste of my medicine. If you've never worked with me before or have had this kind of group experience together, and best believe there's plenty more where that came from. And loving you all, and keep up, stay up, and be the eye of the storm. Love you all. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you soon. Take care. Sat Nam. Bye.